Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of the Zide Women's Podcast. I am Maitri, your host, and my goal with this podcast is to make women's wellness accessible and easy to implement. Now, our guest for today, she is someone who's extremely passionate about women's empowerment and business management. She has also founded and run a Model United Nations called Ilarian at just 16 years young. She's also the founder of a women's not for profit organization called Nariktikaran. This is a word that she came up with by combining two Hindi words, Nari, which stands for woman, and Sashaktikaran, which stands for empowerment. So, Nariktikaran stands for women's empowerment, which I personally think is so beautiful because it rightfully reflects what the organization stands for, which is women's empowerment. She has also currently just finished her 11th, 12th grade and is preparing for her IPM exam. She is someone whom I connect with on many levels personally, someone I really admire and look up to and honestly just love. Welcome to the Zide Women's Podcast, Ashi. I am honored to have you here today.
And I'm honored to be with you. Always an
Thank you
honor.
so much, love. Thank you. So, to start off, I would like to ask you. You are someone who has worked with women very closely through your NGO Nariktikaran. So, what are some of the most common self sabotaging behaviors that you see women do to themselves?
I believe this one thing is one of the most important things. If we as women understand that our life will be 10 times more easier. Audacity. The word is audacity. The self sabotaging behavior I believe nearly every woman possesses is audacity. And this is not something that we have inculcated ourselves, it is how we were brought up. In Ilarian as well, in Nariktikaran as well, the audacity which boys have is over here, and the audacity which girls have is over here. Although the potential is like this. And I see this in girls a lot because we have always been told, you are not that much, humble yourself. Arrogant girls, nobody likes them. And that is why we have been conditioned that, don't have a lot of ambition, but don't always believe that it will work. Yes, it will work, but who knows? Don't have that much audacity. Therefore, a man, I know somebody's existence is not for me to rate, but I would still do it. A man who is 5 on 10 will think that I'm 11 on 10. But a woman who is 10 on 10 will think I'm a 5 on 10. This is what audacity does. And I have experienced this myself. Audacity opens more doors than your knowledge will. So this is something I would genuinely beg us women to change about ourselves. Have the audacity. What is the worst that can happen? It will not work, but have the audacity. If I didn't have the audacity, Elaine wouldn't have been there. Nobody told me or nobody encouraged me to start Elaine at 16. They all told me, oh, she's a mad teenager who just got very inspired by all those summit reels and everything. That is why she's doing it. But I've had the audacity, but I still believe that I can go so far in terms of audacity. And this is one of the most self sabotaging behaviors that we as women do unconsciously. So that was it.
Wow. I think that was something a lot of women need to hear. Like you mentioned, when the potential is more or even equal, I would say, we see women being a lot less audacious. And like you mentioned, it's done on such a subconscious level. We don't
Right.
even realize it's happening. We downplay ourselves. I have seen that. I bet both of us have done that without even realizing
True,
it.
so true.
Right? As women, we've been conditioned that way by society, by people around us. Maybe they even meant well. We don't know. But it's just conditioning. And I love when you said audacity opens more doors. That is so true. And one of the things people say to entrepreneurs, and I think this is applicable to anyone, don't ask for permission, ask for forgiveness. Go out there and do what you want. You can always ask for forgiveness if something goes wrong. Be audacious. I love that.
I
I
love
love
this
that.
sentence.
Thank you.
Ask for
Is that something
forgiveness,
you see?
yes.
Absolutely. Is that something you see a lot of women do when you were working in Nariktikaran? Did you see a lot of women do this? That they're
Subtly,
less audacious?
very subtly. See, this is, observed it this thing happening in meetings, that women, or like I would say girls in general, after the meeting, they were like, "What do you think about it? What are your views in it? Or do you think it is right?" Whereas men in the meeting would be like, "This is what is supposed to be done. Do let me know your thoughts." The difference is very subtle, but if you pay attention to it, the first sentence sounds like, "I am begging for validation. Give me a validation."
Yeah.
Second one is, "This is all about it, calculate the risks, and then let me know." And I want us all women to be more audacious than men. I even made a YouTube video about it, that have the audacity of a man and your life will change. I still remember, it just clicked me.
Wow. Have the audacity of a man and your life will change. Beautiful, Ashi. Beautiful. I love that.
Thank you so
Now, I want
much.
to ask you, in today's fast-paced environment, women often neglect themselves. This is something both of us have seen. Their body, their mind, their social circle, all of that goes neglected. How can we as women avoid this?
I believe there needs to a lot of internal work needs to be done in order to ace this situation, because both of us do it. Right, we are sitting here in a podcast discussing it because we have gone through it, and unconsciously we
Yes.
still do it. You know what? Just let me do this one thing, and I'll sleep 6 hours or I'll sleep 5 hours. This is something that we do, and I believe the only reason that we can change this or transform ourselves is by talking to ourselves. Affirmations. I've always been a very big fan of affirmations. So when you tell yourself that I am all this, I'm always on a pedestal, or maybe affirmations which are delusional, unconsciously your brain starts to get rewired into I am important. And this is very common among ambitious women like us. We tend to neglect ourselves, but there is one thing that we need to understand: you are not different from your goals, which is also the title. What is the point
Absolutely.
of you earning in crores when you didn't even pay this much of heat to yourself? There is no point. I'd rather pay 100% attention to myself and my pleasures than earning. But where does that pleasure come from? Through money. That is why we are working. So it needs to go hand in hand. You cannot neglect yourself. Neglecting yourself, you will not go very long way. I hope we have all heard of this brand called Mamaearth, right? The skincare
Mm-hmm.
brand. So the founder of
Mm-hmm.
this brand, Mamaearth, her name is Ghazal Alag. She's one of the most amazing women,
She
which,
is.
yeah, I've seen her. And there is this one statement she made online, that when I started with Mamaearth, I started to neglect myself completely. And I could see the brand drifting because the foundation was weak. And what was the foundation? The founder herself. And when she said that, when I prioritize my sleep, when I ate well, when I just prioritize myself, I could see the brand growing. Because when the foundation is shaky, you cannot build anything out of it. This is something that we need to understand. And I believe this is how we can improve. I learned it from Ghazal ma'am, and I believe women can learn this from us.
Lovely, lovely. I love how you mentioned affirmations for ourselves because it really does rewire our brain
Totally.
so on a subconscious level. So I love that. I love that, when you put yourself on a pedestal, you treat yourself right. And you also gave the example of Ghazal Alag. She is firstly an amazing boss woman. And when you said that she is the foundation, she is the brand. And when she was neglecting herself, it shows. It shows in her body, her mind, the way she appears, and it shows in the brand directly. So actually, like you mentioned, that we want pleasures, we want to feel good, we want to hustle, and we get that through money. But then even to get money, we're supposed to take care of ourselves. They go hand in hand. And when we neglect one, like you rightfully said, we do not get the other. And by focusing on ourselves, we do earn more. We do improve the brand. We do, achieve all of the goals that we want. I think that was a beautiful example. Is there anything else that you think that we could do as women
I
to take care
believe
of
yes.
ourselves?
I believe yes. And there was this one point which just resurfaced in my mind, is that self care does not always look aesthetic. And this is
Mm.
something that we have been conditioned by Instagram, Pinterest, or any of these aesthetic apps that self care
Yeah.
needs to be a luxury. No. Self care can be as basic as writing what you are feeling. Because people right now, they talk to ChatGPT, and I am guilty of it. I'm not saying that, I don't do it, but I believe you can learn about yourself more with writing on paper than by asking an AI chatbot. And this is something which should be a part of self care. Just doing skincare, going to the gym, Pilates does not mean self care. Have you regulated your emotions? Do you even pay attention on how you drink water? Because that tells you how regulated your nervous system is. You can just literally look at how people do things and tell how calm they are, how steady their mind is. If I can tell you, the difference is that when, see, observe yourself drinking water. If you drink it too fast, that means your mind is very, you know, restless. But if you're drinking it fine, I have all the time in the world, then trust me, you have a regulated nervous system. External beauty does not always contribute to self-care. It can be as simple as journaling. How do you do things? Do you do them in a rush, or do you say to yourself, I have all the time in the world, I am not missing out on anything? Because I am a culprit of it. I see, when I do things, I have to remind myself that I have the time. Let's just see, whenever I'm applying blush, I'm like doing this very, very hastily. And I'm like, what? I have the time. Why am I doing like this? Because we have been conditioned to live like this, to watch a normal video on 2x.
Yeah.
The basic self-care that you can do to yourself, to watch the video at a normal pace so that your mind can grab all of the right information and not just go through it. So self-care does not always need to be aesthetic is one statement that I would add again and again. You can make it look aesthetic, amazing, but don't always think that if it is not aesthetic, it is not self-care. It is boring things is what that compounds.
Wow. I think that's a beautiful thing that women, we often do sabotage ourselves saying that it should look aesthetic, it should look nice. You should have a green tea in one hand and Ikigai's book in the other. And you should have like the perfect set of PJs and your bed should be made perfectly. Then taking care of yourself becomes another task in and of itself,
Exactly, exactly.
right? Right, and that's not what we wanted it to be like. We have an approach that everything we do, we bring a perfectionist mindset to it. And that ends up being a task, and that ends up draining us more than it recharges us. So I love how you mentioned that self care does not have to be aesthetic. It can be something as simple as the conversation we are having right now.
Hmm,
It can be something as simple as meditating for 2 minutes. You don't have to do it for 1 hour, for half an hour, for 2 minutes. Or
exactly.
sitting in silence for 2 minutes. It's like you mentioned the boring things that really work. The boring, the not glamorous, the behind the scenes stuff. The ones you cannot put on Instagram are the ones that are not on anyone's highlight reel.
Right.
Those those are really, really what serve you and your body. I love that. I love what you mentioned.
Thank you so
Now,
much.
yes. Now I would like to ask you, now when you and me were discussing about this episode, I remember you sent me a beautiful voice note and you gave me the title of this episode, which is You Are Not Different from Your Goals. This is a statement that when I heard, it stuck with me. One of the few statements that you actually remember in this fast-paced world we talk about so much on a day-to-day basis. I remember that line. Such was the beauty of the line. So please tell me, what do you mean by this line? Can you expand it?
Right. So I think the best example is me only, because when I was planning the gap year, when I reflected on my goals, every goal was academic. Every goal. Improve the aptitude, read books, and do these questions, attend the hard classes. But yes, it is improving me to a point where I'll be earning, where I'll have more internships, where I will have a tier one environment to be in. But what am I doing for myself? If I have the same mindset, if I have the same body, if I have the same habits, the same patterns, what is the point of me in completing all of these goals? Because I am going to be the same person. I can be the same person academically, but what about my mindset? What about my habits? What about how I interpret things? What about how I react? What about how emotionally regulated I am? So that was something that stuck with me, that you cannot leave yourself behind while working on your goals. That comes to a conclusion that you are not different from your goals. If your goal is to earn 5 lakh, from 5 lakh to 10 lakh, if you have to improve financially, you have to improve mentally also. 10 lakhs come
Correct.
with the responsibility of being a person who knows how to invest those, how to take things that you like for yourself. Maybe buying that bag which you have been waiting for, or maybe buying that lipstick, or maybe buying that car, maybe buying that bat, or anything that you like. So, this is something which really stuck with me, that we as women, now that we have privilege of studying to do whatever we want, we just cannot ignore ourselves. Because then we'll be stuck in this one loop. Yeah, I'm doing well academically, I am doing well financially, but who am I mentally and who am I physically does not really contributes to what I am earning. Because earnings must show on you, on who you are as a person. What is your mindset? You can be earning in crores, but if you have a deficient mindset, that does
Yeah.
that does not fit the
Yeah.
equation. You need to be abundant in mindset. And this is one conversation that we had when I asked you, how do I improve on my FOMO? What about my fear of becoming irrelevant? Even if I go to a tier
Yeah.
one college and I carry those beliefs, that will not make any difference because I'm the same person, only at a different place. So when you
Yeah.
are moving forward academically, financially, you have to move forward mentally also in the products, or maybe not even the products, the type of journaling that you're doing. If you're doing a basic level journaling, then by the end of the year, when you think you have done well financially, and I believe you should also ask yourself, yes, I did earn more, but did I become a better version of myself? Did my journaling get better? Did my self care get better? Have I gotten better at creating very strict boundaries? This is something that you are not different from your goal. Improving yourself is one of your goals. Do not neglect yourself. You won't go long. I have done this, and please don't do it. It does not go well.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Like, I really like the honesty and transparency you got when you said that all of your goals for this year were academic. You wrote down the aptitude that you want. You want to study for aptitude, you want to read intellectual books, you want to watch these classes on YouTube. So, all of them are academic. But when it comes to your body, mind, your health, and wellness, there were none. And I like how reflective you were about it and you brought light to that because most of us do this so subconsciously. We don't even realize these are not things we're adding to our goal list. We're not saying, I want to meditate. We're not saying, I want to eat clean. We're not saying, I want to meet the people I love or I want to talk to my parents. I want to spend more time with them. We don't, these are not added to the goals list because they're unglamorous. You
Exactly.
know, right? So, this world, this social media, that culture has really made grinding it has made us to think that all the goals must be aesthetic. Comes down to the skincare that we just spoke about. Not just skincare, we want our goals to also be aesthetic. We want them to be something worthy of writing down. Otherwise, we have that internal FOMO that this is not something I should be using my time or worse, wasting my time on. So I'm really glad that you brought light to this and you mentioned that you are not different from your goals. And I also remember reading a book. That's something I would recommend to you and all of our viewers as well. And it's called The Mountain Is You. So, what it
The
mentions
one with
is
the black cover, right? Yeah.
yes. Have you read it?
No, I've heard a lot about it.
Okay, so the black and gold one. You should read it. And I would recommend this to everybody who's watching this right now because the mountain is you. You know, they say that if you take somebody like, let's say, a Jeff Bezos, or let's take a beautiful woman, let's say Kiran Mazumdar. You take her, you strip her of all her wealth today, put her in a new environment, she can make the wealth again. Why? Because it's not the wealth. The wealth is temporary. Money comes and goes. It's her. It's the person that she is, right? And she's worked on herself. So, in this pursuit of endless goals, we fail to realize that it's us who is the goal. We are the person. You mentioned that if we want to become somebody who earns 5 to 10 lakh per month, we need to become the woman who can also take up the responsibilities of a woman who's handling 5 to 10 lakhs per month. Because to whom much is given, much is expected. Somebody earning 10 lakhs per month has a lot on their task list. They have a lot to do. So they need to become the kind of woman who can take that kind of pressure without folding. Otherwise, I also really believe that the amount of pressure you can take becomes the ceiling as to how much you can earn. So you need to be able to work on your physical, your mental health, even your social health, the kind of people that you surround yourself with,
Hmm.
because you are the goal. You are quite literally the goal. So I love that. I really love this statement. It has stuck with me, and I'm sure it is going to
And
stick with
that book
all the
example
viewers.
stuck with me. If you strip her
Thank
all
you.
of her wealth and everything, she's the person. And I would definitely read the book. Oh my God. One more
Please do.
recommendation. Definitely.
Oh, I love that. I please do, please do. I think it's very much needed for you as well right now in the phase that you're in. It's it's easy to feel FOMO, like you mentioned in the conversation we had before this call. You mentioned that you do have FOMO when you're doing one thing. You feel like, am I lagging behind on this? But it's all here. It's all internally created. You are. Why are you lagging? The only person that you have to compare yourself with is you yesterday. That's it. Everybody else in this world is irrelevant to you. They're on different journeys, they're on different paths, and their paths does not affect yours or your growth in any way. Are you even 0.1% better than yesterday? Are you doing better physically? Are you doing better mentally? Are you confident in yourself? That's all that you need to see.
I
Because,
love
like you
it.
mentioned, the
I
goal
love
is
the
you.
way you articulated it. My
Thank you.
God.
I love your statement. I love your statement.
It feels
You
like
are the goal.
you're writing so much that your articulation skills have just 200% better. My God.
Thank you. Thank you. That's just you being extremely kind as always. Thank you.
I
So,
love
I,
articulated women. Teach
thank
me
you.
some articulation skills, Maitri.
Oh, come on, please. No, no, no. I learn it from you. The way that you carry yourself, I learn a lot of it from
Thank
you,
you
and I'm not
so
sugarcoating
much.
or making this up.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Means a lot.
Thank you. Is there anything else that you want to add when we talk about you are not different from your goals? Anything coming to your mind right now?
As of now, no, I believe I've said a lot. Everything that was there on my mind. And I believe there was a modicum of frustration and anger also. Because we have seen our moms and grandmoms also doing the very same, doing everything for everyone. But what about you? You are the same person
Yeah,
that you were. So I believe as a brown girl, please pay attention to it. You are not at all different from your goals. Money can come
beautiful.
and go, money will come and go. It is an energy, but who you are matters. Have you developed? What's your mindset? That
Beautiful. One more thing I noted was you said that, let's say, even you go to a tier one college, and if you're the same person that you were when you were in 12th grade, you're the same person in a new environment. So ultimately, you will drift apart. You will not be able to make it in such a cutthroat and high end environment. So when we think that we're actually moving towards our goals by not focusing on ourselves, we're actually moving away from our goals.
so true.
Because, right, that's something we need to reframe our thinking because that's true. If taking care of yourself, reframing yourself, learning communication, that makes you the kind of person who is somebody who would be in a tier one college. Because people in tier one colleges, they are really well spoken. They are amazing at stress management. They're amazing at time management. And if you focused on just one skill, which is getting into this college, and then you don't have the other set of skills that you needed to be in this environment, sooner or later you will feel that this place is not for me, and you might quit or you might get a burnout. So we can
So
avoid that by doing everything should happen side by side. It should be happening at once simultaneously. So I love that. I love the college example that you mentioned.
thank you.
Yes. So now I want to address something that a major issue that we see and something Nariktikaran is helping solve is women seeking external validation. Why do you think that we do this and how can we solve this?
The reason why is I would say largely 90% society and 10% how we have grown up seeing fair and lovely ads. Do you really think a child absorbing all of that bullshit at such a young age would be able to think that I'm doing well or do I look fine? No. There are literally products sold to us which tell us you can be better. then there is $1 billion industry out of this insecurity. 10% of that contributes to it. So just imagine how much the impact that 90% would have. That is the society. You know what? They pressure you for the nose job. And the irony is that they will mock you for the nose job.
Yes, so true.
They're going to
So
pressure
true.
you like, you know what? Men don't find you attractive. Okay, so what? And then you just don't fit into the beauty standards, and then you are so mentally pressured. Let me go get that butt job, or let me go get fillers, lip job, nose job. And once you are done with it, they'll be like, oh, you were so underconfident, you got all of that jobs done. How ironic is that? And I believe this is the answer to why it happens and how it happens. And I believe coming to how we can stop it is another positive self-talk. I was someone who was called names, and I have always been a big girl, and by big I mean physically big. Since I was 12, I was called. I would literally say I cannot even say the names over here in the podcast. I was called by those names just because I am dark in color. And trust me, this one thing became my strength. That one thing which I admire about me right now the most is that I'm brown. And this was one thing that I was very insecure
Beautiful.
about. Beauty standards are
Beautiful.
like this. I can go half bald and make it a beauty standard just by being confident about it. Beauty
Yes.
standards change like this. If being thick can become a beauty standard, or becoming so skinny that you lose yourself can become a beauty standard, that means that we as society, our foundation is so weak that even when we see someone doing something confidently, we make it a beauty standard. So again, it is
Yeah.
confidence. You know how big foreheads were very mocked, that oh, you have a big forehead. Now we
Yeah. Yeah.
when we see celebrities having big forehead, we feel relieved. Why? What is that celebrity doing? Don't you have that much of confidence that you can feel the confidence for yourself? Celebrity should not come. That means we have given all of the power to these people, that how we should look. The clean girl
Yeah.
aesthetic, the wife aesthetic, and all of that cottage core and dark feminine aesthetic, soft feminine aesthetic. We are not a Pinterest label. We are human beings. I am who I want to be. And nor do I need some celebrities validation, nor do I need, most importantly, male validation, because male validation is one of the cliche things that I would be asking for in this generation. So, girls, talk to yourself. You just, my advice for you would be that take a social media detox. Trust me, it
Yeah.
might sound like it is irrelevant, but take a social media detox. Focus on yourself. Just do what you like and then talk to yourself positively. I am beautiful the way I am. You might feel like you are lying to yourself, but your
Yeah.
brain does not care. It believes what you repeat. So when you believe I am beautiful, I'm
Yes.
smart, and you know what, people admire me, if that is what you want. And I am attractive, I'm hot, I'm beautiful, I'm smart, I'm well spoken, I'm eloquent, anything, you just repeat it, repeat it, repeat it, brain will adapt. And this is how I have transformed myself. My legs used to shake when I used to go on stage. Now I crave visibility. People might say it is
Beautiful.
controversial, or you were just a pick me that you crave visibility. I do. I want people to see me. I want the fame. I want the power. What's wrong with that? At least I'm not following a celebrity and saying that, oh, the celebrity has done the slick bun, I want the same bun. No, I will do whatever I want. So just be
Yes.
yourself. There is no one. And most importantly, you are a human, not a Pinterest label. So fitting into these aesthetics, please stop it. You can be all. You can be soft feminine, dark feminine, cottagecore, chic girl, clean girl, anything. Everything you can be. Why choose one? We just have one life. Let's be all aesthetics. And this brown skin
Wow.
is an advantage, I would say. I'm blessed to have this skin. And now I can say it on stage in front of 1 million people that I am a brown girl and a proud brown girl. I am.
Wow. That talk just gave me so much energy because I love that. I love how you mentioned that you are a human being and not a Pinterest label. And like you mentioned, beauty standards come and go. This cannot be highlighted enough. They come and go. When the world sees a woman doing anything confidently, that becomes a beauty standard. Like you said, bald hair becomes a beauty standard, colored hair, straight hair, a particular type of nose, a particular type of teeth, eyes, eyebrows. They are all, if you just look at it in a normal person, you might think that, oh my God, that's not so attractive. But you see a celebrity and you think that that's attractive. Why do we seek validation from celebrities? Why do we seek validation from men? Like you mentioned, in today's day and age, it's so common. Unfortunately, it's so common because of society, the products that were sold from such a young age, things like fair and lovely, because you're supposed to be fair to be beautiful. That's something that's I find to be absolute bullshit, because I'm also a proud brown girl. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful that you said that you can stand on a stage and tell 1 million people that you're a proud brown girl because you are a beautiful brown girl. That's amazing. And yeah, so coming back, this the kind of consumer mindset that we've been brought into. People capitalize on our insecurities,
So,
because
so true.
only, right? Yeah. So only when we have these insecurities can they sell us something. Only when we are made to feel inadequate do they sell us something. Am I personally against plastic surgery? I personally am not. I feel that if a woman is doing it for herself, rather than for the society, rather than for a man, if she wants to feel better, do it. I'm all for women doing what they want and not doing what they don't want.
Yes.
That's very important. Don't be sold on something. Do it for yourself. Know why you're doing it. Shruti Hassan said this once, that she's gotten a nose job. And she mentioned that if a woman wants a nose job, it's her choice. If she doesn't want a nose job, that's her choice. She wants a filler, her choice. Doesn't want a filler, her choice. She has the right to choose. And one thing I would like to touch upon that you mentioned was, people will push a woman into thinking she needs a nose job. And then when she gets one, she's going to be called plastic. She's fake. She's not natural. So women are supposed to be just born with what people think is the perfect nose.
Yes.
But what people think is just what people think. It just reflects people's mentality and has nothing to do with how we actually are. For the longest time, can you believe that we were made to think that brown and black skin is not beautiful? Can you look at that skin tone? How gorgeous is that?
Yes.
We were made to think,
We look like gold
right?
under sunlight.
Right? And people get tanned to get
Tan.
brown skin. I'm not
Right.
right. I'm not saying white skin is bad. Every skin tone, every single one of the shades, from the darkest of black to the lightest of white, is beautiful. Because and it is really about the woman who's carrying that. We were sold on this. We were made to believe that we're not good looking enough, just so we can be sold some brightening cream. Priyanka Chopra, she felt so out of place for the longest time in Bollywood because she was not looking like everybody around her. Look at her today, the global icon that that woman is,
She's one of my inspirations.
right? I love that. I love that. So I love how you mentioned that we should talk to ourselves, because our brain does not know, if even if we don't mean it, right? Even
So
if we
true.
don't mean it, if we're telling
Hmm.
ourselves, it does rewire our brain. It does our on a subconscious level. This does not happening on a conscious level. It happens on a subconscious level, where our brain actually starts to look at us in a less, more like it's like more like we're looking at the mirror and seeing only flaws. I want to fix this about myself. I want to do this. We At one point, people look at themselves and they only see the surgeries that they have to do on themselves to look a certain way. That's so bad. That's honestly so bad.
So it's so
Just
painful to
imagine,
see all of this.
right? It's so painful. Imagine just looking at yourself and looking at you, who you are, for what you are, rather than looking at yourself as something that is to be corrected, or looking at yourself, like you mentioned, to be a Pinterest board, because you are a beautiful human being exactly the way you are. And if you want to change something about yourself, that's your choice. You don't want to, that's also your choice. So I love that. I really love how you highlighted this point. It's something that I think I personally felt very motivated, because I remember we had this talk. You were telling me what you were doing with Nariktikaran. And at that phase in my life, I was seeking external validation. So when you told me, and you told me that women should stop seeking external validation, it gave me the strength. I swear it gave me the strength.
Thank you
I
so much.
felt like, oh my God, no, bro, it's facts. I felt like Ashi is doing this. Ashi feels confident in herself. The beautiful woman that she is, she's able to look at it. I gained that confidence that, you know what, yeah, I don't need anybody. Nobody needs anybody to tell them that they're beautiful because they are. It's beautiful. We could go on and on about this. I love that. I love what you mentioned.
Yeah.
So now, so now I would like to ask you, making money and also having the time to take care of yourself is made to seem paradoxical in this day and age. Like there are two different sides. Like doing one means that you can't have the other. This is something we touched upon. How do you think that a woman who's incredibly ambitious can make time for her wellness? How can she actually take out the time from her schedule?
Nobody has the time. We have to take out the time because, again, you are not different from your goals. And I believe there is one thing that कभी कभी ऐसा होता है ना, you do not understand things until you hit the rock bottom. And it is very
Yeah,
important. So I would say if you currently believe that focusing on yourself makes you less close to your goals, then just for 21 days, go all in with your goals. Go all in. Don't take care of yourself. Don't even do basic skincare. Just don't. Just take care of your goals academically. And after 21 days, whatever happens with you, that will automatically push you to take care of yourself. So for
yeah,
some things, I believe no advice can be given that do this, do that until you hit that feeling. I can tell you hit the gym. I can tell you do the skincare routine. I can tell you journal. I can tell you regulate your emotions, talk to people, touch the grass, get the sunlight. I can go on and on. But until and unless you have hit the rock bottom or you get the taste of the bitter taste of not taking care for yourself, you will not understand. This is something.
wow, wow. I love that. I love that. But it's also really sad to see that we as women need to hit rock bottom for us to realize that, oh, I need to take care of myself, that I've been actually neglecting myself. It's only when the lack of sleep hits you and you start falling asleep everywhere that you realize, oh, I've not been sleeping. It's only when the pimples pop out that you realize that I've been eating wrong. I think that's something that's really unfortunate. Like you mentioned, you can tell people, do this, do that, and honestly, people know what to do. To actually take out the time is something that people say that I do not have. You just have to. You just have to make time for it. It's almost, I remember my dad once told me that when we as women, especially, we are super focused on our goals and we say that we don't have time for it. It's like saying, I am too busy driving my car. I don't have time to put the gas, to put
Yes,
the petrol,
yes.
right? You're going to stop. You're going to come to a halt. And only when we come to that halt do we realize that, oh, I need to stop, I need to pause. And then that becomes too long of a pause sometimes. We can avoid that by taking care of ourselves. That's amazing. Amazing. Is there anything else you want to add upon to this?
Just see your mom for once or your grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
Have they really? I'm not saying that every woman needs to be independent in my sense. Your independence can be very different from mine. But do you really believe, and I believe we, most brown women, feel pity for our mothers or our grandmother that,
Yeah.
I always say this to my mom that, you know what, you had so much talent. You had so much, and you should take care of yourself. But I see her neglecting this a lot. And this is not just with my mom. This is average brown mom behavior. So if girl, you are neglecting yourself, just look at your mom. Did she accomplish anything? Does she feel fulfilled? Or is she doing extremely well in her life? No. She's still taking of you, she's still taking of her husband and the family, and she does not feel fulfilled. So
Yeah.
the family is replaced by your goals for making money, right? Or just growing that business. Do you feel fulfilled just by running the business and neglecting yourself the way your mom did? And the main part is that at least from the business, you're getting out something for yourself. She did not out of the family. So just look at her. Whenever I just don't treat myself the way I am supposed to take care of myself, I look at my mom and realize that she did not do that, but I am not going to repeat the same mistake. Just look at her. That's it.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I think you cannot say that enough. You can say that twice, thrice. 100 times. That's so true. I think that's a very good thing we can do is look at our moms. Honestly, they have all the potential in the world. They have
So,
everything it takes to accomplish whatever they wanted, but they put in their all into something that has not given them back
yeah,
anything in
yes.
terms of returns. And more often than not, we don't even thank them. They have a
Hmm.
thankless job. They wake up, they do the same routine over and over again. No Sunday breaks for them. They don't take care of themselves because they just genuinely don't have the time. They genuinely cannot find the time. And that's something that's so painful to see. And I think that's a very good actionable step that look at your mom. It's beautiful. Look at your grandmom. Look at the women around you in
Hmm.
your life. And you will realize
It's very
that
painful.
you are some, it is very painful. But we have to show ourselves pain. Like you mentioned, only when we hit rock bottom or when we give that dose of pain to ourselves that we realize that I don't want that. So to avoid that pain, I must take care of myself. And let's hope that over time, taking care of ourselves becomes something that's automatic and we don't have to put ourselves through pain just to force ourselves to take care of
Yes,
ourselves.
yes. It
You know,
should become automatic.
it should. It should become subconscious. We are putting ourselves to pain in through pain just to take care of ourselves. Think about that for a second. That's painful to think about. I really hope that you, me, all the women listening to this can reach a stage in our life where taking care of ourselves feels automatic, feels fulfilling, feels like not like a chore, and feels like something we want to do rather than something we're forced to do. That's something I hope for all of us.
I do. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Now, this is something that relates to the previous question that we touched upon, and that is as an incredibly hardworking and ambitious woman, I've seen you do it all, balance it all. What are your non negotiables when it comes to your personal wellness routine?
All right. So, as a woman who does it all, I do feel jealous of people doing better than me. I do feel insecure, but my non-negotiable is that write it down. Talk about it to yourself. Even if you cannot talk to a friend about all of it, talk to yourself. You have better advisors. Just look into the mirror, talk to yourself. I talk to myself like I'm actually talking to someone. My parents, when they come, I'm like, no, it is very normal. I'm not doing anything demonic. So I have to convince them.
Uh,
So talking to yourself might seem abnormal, but it is one of the uh, most self-care, I would say, top one thing for self-care that you can do. And I would say my non-negotiables would be this only, that whenever you feel something, don't suppress it. It's going to be 2x, then 3x, 4x. It's going to come out as a bubble, and you might do something which you don't like. Maybe yell at someone you love, or just, not able to give the same energy to your work you thought you could. And just talk to yourself what you're feeling. So non-negotiables, first one would be to talk about it. For example, I'm feeling very insecure at this one person coming up in my team. I feel like he or she can just, take away all of my influence over my team, or has better knowledge than me. I will write about it. I will talk about it. That it is important for that person to be in the team. What if the person has better knowledge than me? Knowledge is not something that is very devoid, or which is like only just with one person. I can read more books, I can have more experiences, I can be more knowledgeable, I can be more well spoken. So then I say to myself that instead of being jealous or instead of being insecure, I think I should say to myself that that person is actually teaching me something. It is a privilege for me to be in the environment with people who are smarter than me, because if you are surrounded by people who are less smart than you are not growing. You
Absolutely.
have to feel dumb. If that person is making me feel dumb, I am more than inferior. I will come with you. You have, I believe Elon Musk said this. I don't remember the name, but you have to be the poorest in the group. You have to be the dumbest in the group. You have to be
Mm,
not even youngest, but you have to be the dumbest in the group. If you are the
yeah,
smartest in the group, change the group. This is
change the
something
group.
non-negotiable. Half of your problems will be gone because we suppress our feelings. Because feeling insecure, feeling jealous, they are portrayed as wrong emotions, right? So whenever you feel these emotions, you're like, oh my God, I cannot be this woman, I don't feel jealous. I do. It is a normal emotion. Just don't suppress it. Let the evil, horrible woman come out. It's okay. There is this book, Women Who Run with the Wolves. Have you heard of it?
Oh, I have.
That is
Beautiful.
all about that let the evil, horrible woman in you come out.
Yeah,
Just that only. These would be non-negotiables. And secondly, talk to yourself. The way you talk to
right.
yourself matters. If you even say to yourself, matlab mazak mein bhi, which I believe I have said many times, and I kept telling this to myself that everything is a spell, every word is a spell, everything. Even the songs that you listen to have some impact on your mind. So if you keep listening to sad songs, you will miss that 4 year, that I would say, a breakup that happened 5 years ago out of nowhere.
Yeah,
In midnight, you'll
yeah,
start missing him or her. So songs, all of these things, words have very, very huge impact on us. We don't
yeah,
realize it. So this would be non-negotiables, that write about or talk about everything that you're feeling. Do not suppress it. You feel that another woman is more beautiful than you, talk about it. It is nothing demonic. We label ourselves bad women for feeling jealous or anxious or even judged. No, we are not. We are just human beings evolving day by day. That's it.
yeah.
These were my non negotiables.
Beautiful. So you gave three beautiful non-negotiables, which is one is do not suppress your emotions. You are a human. Feel it all. Let it all out. Talk to yourself because words are, even the songs that we listen to, like you mentioned, really do have a very important role in our subconscious mind. And journal it down, write it down. I love and cannot emphasize on how much you mentioned that you should be the smartest person in the room. And that's incredibly uncomfortable. You are consciously feeling like you are left behind. You have the FOMO. You are feeling jealous, anxious, you feel scared, you feel depressed, but you have to get over it because then you become the next smartest person in this room and you change rooms. That's how
Yes.
you grow. That's beautiful. We need to consciously do that. If you're in a group of five people and, like you mentioned, you are the smartest person, you feel good because you are the one giving gyan to these people, so to say. You're giving them knowledge, you're making them feel good, you're mentoring them, you're helping them, which is a good thing to mentor and help people. But then you are doing that just to feel good. You're doing that just to feel good, right? So you want to feel good about yourself. You want to feel highly about yourself. You want to feed into your, ego. So you're in a room where you are the smartest person, but pushing yourself, taking that extra step to go into the room when you are not the smartest person can be the best thing that you're gifting yourself. I
And
love
it
that. And
is,
I really,
yeah, yeah,
please,
you were saying something. Please continue.
no, I was just saying that I cannot highlight it enough. That's why I mentioned it again. And please go ahead.
I was saying that, but it is incredibly uncomfortable to do so. I can say it
It
very
is.
lightly over here that be the least smartest person in the room, but that comes with a lot of challenges. And sometimes
It
you
is.
may even feel emotionally drained or mentally drained, very incapable.
Yeah.
What would be your take on it?
So I would feel like you do feel that emotional drain, you do feel that mental drain because you're constantly feeling inadequate. Because even if we are not in a room of the smartest people, we constantly have this tendency to compare ourselves with people around us. And that comparison itself really, really drains us because we feel that I'm not good enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm just not enough. But imagine being in a room where you're seeing that. Imagine your brain doing that comparison 24/7 because you are exposed to more of it. It's draining. It's very tiring, and most people cannot do it. But if you can force yourself to go through that pain, to chew the glass, then you do grow. And growth is always painful. They say growing pains. Growth is painful.
It is.
Comfort is nice. It's nice. It's very comfortable and it's very nice to be exactly as who you are. But then there's the opportunity cost. You don't grow as a person. So I would say just you know deal with the pain. That's all that we can do.
That's all we
You
can
have
do.
to be the smartest.
Yeah.
Yeah, you cannot be the smartest person in the room. You have to be the dumbest person in the room, the poorest person in the room, right? And then you change rooms when you're the richest person in that room. So that's something we have to keep doing. And this is something I want to touch upon. Taking a break and pausing for your own well being can be a source of guilt for many women, and I am guilty of this too. Some days when you sleep a little extra, you feel that why did I do that? I'm wasting precious time. So, the guilt that is associated with resting and taking a break, how do we deal with this guilt?
It comes with time. I believe we as women now, we have so much romanticized hustle culture, which should be romanticized to a point, but not to a point where it is, where, it becomes very dangerous.
Yeah,
Right. So I don't think that just thinking that rest is not guilty will make us feel like rest is not at all guilty. We have to go through another pain. We have to go through pain. We have to go through burnout. We have to go through things which we don't like. Like, for example, staying in a friendship that is not serving you. And when you hit the rock bottom again, when you hit the rock bottom after the burnout, that is when you realize that rest is not something which is earned. Rest is never
yeah,
earned. And this is something that
yeah,
we don't realize. And I believe we will never realize until unless we hit rock bottoms another after another after another. And I believe it is a part of life. This is something that we have to learn the hard way, you know, which is also one question which you asked, the paradoxical situation where we are made to feel guilty about resting. And that was our take
yeah,
on it, that you have to hit the rock bottom in order to realize whatever you were neglecting. Same
yeah,
thing would be, you cannot neglect yourself, not at all. And if you think that you can reach all of your goals neglecting yourself, just try doing it.
yeah.
Try doing it. You won't reach longer. Another
Right.
thing that your dad said is valid here, that it's like trying to drive a car when there is no gas.
Yeah, that is so true. That is so true. It's like you mentioned, people will not know unless and until they don't feel it for themselves. So only until and unless we hit that rock bottom, it's not going to hit us. So I love how you mentioned that people will have to face it. People will have to go through it to realize that you cannot do it. You cannot achieve the goals and dreams that you have unless and until you do not take care of yourself. Like taking care of yourself and reaching your goals goes hand in hand. So that's something I'm so glad that you highlighted that. And right now, I would like to ask you, a woman's confidence, right? It stems from how she feels about herself inside out. One major factor that affects a woman's confidence is her dressing sense. When she dresses like she likes it, she's going to be confident. So, how important is dressing sense for you and your confidence?
It does play a vital role. I would not downplay
Right.
it, saying that it is all internal and we just don't invest in clothes or don't invest in makeup or don't invest in anything that you like. No, do it if that matters for you. See, dressing on a scale from 1 to 10, it can contribute to my confidence, say 9. For you, it might be 7. For someone else, it might be 10. So if dressing contributes to 9 or like 90% of what my confidence feels like, yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry. That was some disturbance. Yeah, I would love to come again to the topic, which was like, for me,
Yes.
it might be my looks might contribute 90% to how
Yeah.
much confident I feel, right? And
Yeah.
for you, it might be 100%. For someone else, it might be 20%. It varies. So for me, investing in my skincare, investing in my uh, how I look will matter more than person A or B. And we should never ever judge someone for it because you have never been through what that other person has been. What if
Exactly.
their mental trauma, their childhood trauma, or maybe they have been commented on their body in a manner which makes them like this. And we should never say that, oh, you're all about your looks, or you think your clothing matters a lot. It does. It does make you feel better when you are well dressed. It does make you feel better when your skin is doing well. And I believe looks per se, the word, merely the word looks, I believe every woman is beautiful. And I'm not some saying it in, in some superficial manner, but I believe this one thing. I personally believe that there is nothing as ugly or I would say beautiful. It is only rich and poor. It is a bitter truth.
Yeah.
It is a bitter truth.
Yeah.
There is a reason why all the wealthy and elites are super attractive. There is a reason
Yeah.
to it because they can
Yeah.
afford it. So if you believe that your beauty or how you look does not contribute to who you are as a person, first of all, beauty is very subjective. As I said, beauty standards can be as extreme as we know it. And the best part is that our confidence gives us the power to mold it into us, into our manner. So I believe we should always take hold of it. And that was it.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I love how you mentioned that there's no beautiful, ugly. There is just rich and poor. And like you mentioned, it's a bitter truth. Like you said, that there's a reason why the rich people look super attractive because they take so much care of themselves and everything that goes into the food, the kind of food that they eat, the kind of water that they drink, the kind of procedures that they have, the kind of dress, the makeup, the hair. There's people I remember Sonam Kapoor said this, that do not compare you to me because, and she said this in a very nice way, because I have people whose entire job is to decide what I eat.
Right.
That's the kind of, right? So that's the kind of work that goes into their look because that's their job. Their
Job,
entire
right.
job is looking attractive. So when we compare ourselves to someone like that, we think that we're not good enough. Obviously, we will feel that because that's their job. So comparing yourself can really affect your confidence, but it does help when we dress in a way that makes us feel
Us feel
confident. That
confident.
does not, absolutely, that does not have to be what is trending right now, but it's as long as you are confident in the way you dress and the way you carry yourself, that's all that matters. So I love that. I love how you mentioned that. Now, I would like to close this by asking you if there's only one thing that you could do for your wellness for the rest of your life, what would that be?
Positive self-talk and affirmations. See, it didn't take me
Period.
much time. It didn't take me much time to answer this question because I believe in this so much. Positive self-talk can take you from here to here because it is all over here. Being hot is a mindset. There is a
Yeah.
reason why people, when they go from poor to rich, they become insanely attractive. The face is same,
Yeah.
the person is same, the mind is same, the body is same. What changed? They invested in themselves more. That is why I see a lot of these reels where people take their maids. Let's take her to shopping, and then after the reel,
Yeah.
she has transformed. She wouldn't look like she used to work for him or her. Did she change? No, not at all. It is just that that person invested in her.
Yeah.
That's it. So I know the example was something that we do not appreciate socially, but I would genuinely emphasize on it that if you believe that you're not beautiful, just be rich and then you tell, are you really not beautiful? This is something that matters. And yeah, that one thing resurfacing the answer, it would be positive self-talk and affirmations. You can go from here to here just by talking positive about yourself. Your brain listens to what you say, your body listens to what you say. It
Yeah.
does matter. And if you believe that affirmations do not work, talk negatively about yourself for 21 days and then see what happens to your body. Because
Wow.
teaching or learning it the hard way would only be this, that talk negatively about yourself, say that I'm bad at this subject, say that I'm not beautiful, say that I'm ugly, say that I'm broke, I'm poor, and say every bad thing about yourself for the rest of 21 days and then see your brain change. If your brain can change this much, and you would be very shocked to see how your brain responds. If your brain is responding to bad things, then why on earth will it not respond to good things? It will. Just have the time, sit down, talk to yourself. Just, I would say, positive self-talk. And even if it becomes narcissistic, trust me, it helps. And this is something that I would like to emphasize on. People have the standards for self-love is so low that we have romanticized narcissism. This is very painful to see. The standards for
Yeah.
self-love is so low that we believe that being narcissistic is loving ourselves. No, It is self-sabotaging yourself. One thing that I would do for the rest of my life is to speak positively about myself. Tell to myself that I'm always on a pedestal. People are always, praising me. And one thing, perspective matters. If I see a group of people talking about me, my first intuition would be, oh, they are gossiping about me. But what if they are praising my confidence? What if they like the dress that I'm wearing? What if they are just talking to
Exactly.
themselves that, look at Ashi, she's so beautiful, she's so confident. It can be that also. So why don't think like that?
Can be very
It
likely,
can
yeah.
be. So just talk positively about yourself and see your life transform because I have seen it. Whenever you feel this, you don't fit in, talk like talk to yourself that you are a diva, and it does help. It does help. This is one thing that I would do
Wow.
for the rest of my life.
Positive self-talk for the win. I love that. And I also have loved each and every one of your answer
And I have
so
loved
far.
each and every one of your questions and who you are as a
Thank you.
person, how kind you are, how generous you are.
Thank you so much. Thank you. See, the way that you compliment me, it really speaks about you. I believe that when a woman is empowering another woman, it speaks more about her than it does about the other woman. So I think you've spoken for yourself through right now and throughout this podcast. And I'm sure you've given so many inputs for all the lovely women out there listening to this podcast. Thank you so much for your time. I'm absolutely blessed and honored to have you here.
And all my love to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ashi.
You're welcome.
Thank you for making it to the end of this episode, for sharing